The AI supervillain inside the $220,000 deepfake heist. Imagine getting a call from your parent company's CEO. It sounds exactly like them. Same voice, same German accent. They urgently request you transfer $220,000 to a Hungarian supplier. You make the transfer, only to discover later you've been talking to an AI the entire time. This isn't science fiction. This happened to a UK energy firm in 2019, and it could happen to your company next. In today's video, I'll show you how criminals are using AI to become the supervillains of the digital age, pulling off heists that would make Hollywood jealous. With 93% of UK businesses targeted by fraud last year, the question isn't if you'll be targeted, it's when. By the end of this video, you'll know the 3 warning signs that could have prevented this massive fraud, the exact techniques these cybercriminals use, and the simple steps you can take right now to protect yourself and your business. This might be the most important video you watch this year. Let's break down exactly how the UK energy firm heist went down. The criminals didn't need masks or weapons. All they needed was artificial intelligence and one unsuspecting CEO with payment authority. It started with careful research. The attackers studied the corporate structure, identified the relationship between the UK subsidiary and the German parent company, and gathered publicly available audio of the German CEO from company presentations and interviews. These aren't your grandma's scam emails anymore. Today's cybervillains are using 3 cutting-edge AI technologies that make their attacks nearly undetectable. First, voice cloning that captures unique accents and speech patterns, even the little verbal habits we all have. Second, social engineering tactics that create urgency and pressure to circumvent normal verification procedures. And third, behavioral mimicry powered by machine learning that helps them match the communication style of the person they're impersonating. Why did they target this specific company? The attackers didn't choose randomly. They selected a firm with international operations, regular large transfers to suppliers, and a hierarchical structure where the parent company's CEO's requests wouldn't be questioned. But here's what's terrifying. They studied the German CEO's speaking style for weeks before making their move. They knew exactly how this person spoke, the phrases they used, and most importantly, how they handled financial decisions. The fraudsters orchestrated not one, but multiple calls, building trust with each interaction. The UK CEO initially proceeded without question because the voice was so convincing, perfectly matching the German accent and speech patterns of his boss. But wait, it gets worse. When the fake CEO kept making additional urgent transfer requests, the UK executive finally grew suspicious. But by then, the initial $220,000 had already been sent through multiple accounts and was essentially untraceable. The fraud was only discovered after the UK CEO contacted his actual boss through a different channel to question the repeated requests. By then, the money had been moved through Hungarian accounts and was essentially gone. And here's the shocking part. This isn't an isolated incident. Deepfake fraud attempts have increased by over 2,000% in just 3 years, with the financial sector being the primary target. The consequences were devastating. First, the company instantly lost $220,000, money they couldn't recover. But that's just the beginning of their nightmare. The company faced regulatory scrutiny for their lack of proper verification protocols, and their cyber insurance initially refused to cover the loss, claiming the CEO willingly made the transfer, which fell outside their policy coverage. But this isn't just about one company's misfortune. This case, along with others like it, triggered a financial shockwave across the business world. Regulators are now fast-tracking the new UK Failure to Prevent Fraud corporate offense, which takes effect this September. Companies without proper fraud prevention could face unlimited fines and criminal liability. And the question everyone's asking, if an energy firm's CEO can be fooled this easily, who's next? Financial institutions have already started implementing emergency measures, but many businesses remain vulnerable. The most shocking revelation? This entire fraud could have been prevented with one simple protocol. multi-channel verification. If the company had required confirmation through a separate, previously established communication channel before large transfers, the criminals would have been stopped instantly. But they didn't, and it cost them $220,000. Think about it. A simple text message or email to the real CEO's verified account saying, "Hey, just confirming you want us to transfer $220,000 to this Hungarian supplier," would have exposed the entire scheme. Here's where it gets interesting. The same AI technology criminals use can also be your best defense. AI-powered fraud detection systems can spot subtle anomalies humans miss, like micro-hesitations in deepfake audio, unusual transaction patterns, or imperfect voice synthesis. The companies implementing these systems have seen a 72% reduction in successful attacks. These systems work by creating a baseline of normal behavior and flagging anything that deviates from it. They're constantly learning and adapting to new fraud techniques. But technology alone isn't enough. Your employees are your first line of defense against these supervillains. Effective training doesn't just mean annual PowerPoint presentations. It means regular simulated attacks, real-world examples, and creating a culture where verification is celebrated, not seen as an inconvenience. Companies that conduct monthly simulated phishing or social engineering tests see fraud success rates drop by up to 90%. When employees know what to look for, they become your most valuable security asset. Let's get practical. Here are the 3 red flags that should trigger immediate verification. First, any unexpected request involving money, no matter who it appears to come from. Second, unusual urgency or pressure to act quickly. Fraudsters often create false time pressure to bypass normal thinking processes. And third, any communication that bypasses normal protocols or procedures. Train your team to recognize these signals, and you'll stop 90% of attacks before they start. Now let's build your defense system. The most effective approach combines 3 elements. Strong verification protocols for all financial transactions, especially any changes to payment details or new recipients. AI-powered detection tools that spot what humans miss, working 24/7 to monitor communications and transactions. And continuous employee training that evolves as quickly as the threats. This isn't just about technology, it's about creating a security-first culture. The scariest part? This is just the beginning. As AI technology becomes more accessible, these attacks will only increase in sophistication and frequency. The question isn't whether you'll be targeted, it's whether you'll be prepared when it happens. The companies that survive won't be the biggest or wealthiest. They'll be the most vigilant. The conclusion. We've just scratched the surface of how AI supervillains are changing cyber fraud. Hit subscribe and tap that notification bell so you don't miss it. And here's my question for you. Has your company ever experienced a cyber fraud attempt? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, in today's digital world, what you don't know can hurt you. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.